Okay, we're all right to go? Everyone happy? Terrific. Well, here we are, the first day of an election campaign, talking about an issue you won't hear either of the old parties talk about on any day during this election campaign. And that is how new coal mines, more coal exports, are destroying the Great Barrier Reef, how new coal mines are destroying precious wilderness, and how they are holding us back from making the transition to a new 21st century clean economy. On a day when Bill Shorten is out at a mine kicking off this election campaign, we're saying no more new coal mines if we're to make the transition to a 21st century economy and save the Great Barrier Reef. We're here with the community. So we stand as Greens with the community on the first day of the election campaign, where you'll see the two old parties standing with vested interests saying, let's continue to dig coal out of the ground, to pollute the atmosphere, to make dangerous global warming worse, to lose the Great Barrier Reef, to lose that precious wilderness that we all so dearly love, and to hold us back from making that transition that we as a country so desperately need to make. We know the world is moving. We know the community's moving. We know that people right around the world today are joining together to say no more new coal. No more new coal, because more coal means more dangerous global warming. It means losing the Great Barrier Reef. It means holding this country back from making the clean energy transition it so desperately needs. So we stand as a group, united. The Greens never in better shape. We are a party that is absolutely humming along. The party's never been in better shape for an election campaign. We've got people knocking on doors. We've got people bringing ordinary people up to discuss their concerns. We've got ordinary supporters and members having just conversations with people, because we know that every conversation that we have with the person on the street means that's one more person who's likely to vote Green. Because the biggest thing that is holding the Greens back is that we have a lot of people who still don't know what our broad suite of policies actually represent. When you have that conversation with people, what you know is that you're more likely to end up with the Greens voter. So that's what our election campaign will look like. Working with the community, standing against those vested interests, saying no more new coal, let's make the transition to a 21st century economy, and let's get this country moving in a direction that's more sustainable, more prosperous and more caring. We've seen the two old parties back in huge tax cuts that mean we can't fund our hospitals and our schools. Well, we're saying we won't have a bar of that. What we want to do is end those unfair tax breaks that mean we haven't got the money to invest in schools, hospital, infrastructure, and looking after ordinary people who are doing it tough. What we will be taking to this election campaign is a clear position on some key issues. Tackling dangerous global warming, a bit more decency and compassion towards those innocent people who are coming to us seeking protection, who want us to look after them because they're enduring suffering thanks to the conflicts, many of them that we have contributed to. We're a party that's saying, let's tackle income inequality. Let's make that growing gap between the rich and poor, let's bridge that gap, and let's start raising money from the big end of town, ending those unfair tax breaks, and making sure that we can work towards an Australia where we tackle dangerous global warming, we make the transition to a new economy, we look after those people seeking asylum, and we tackle the growing gap between the rich and poor. That's what we offer at this election campaign. We're all proud of it. We're here today in Newcastle as part of a global movement, standing with the community, standing strong against new coal mines, and standing in support of the Great Barrier Reef and that wonderful, precious natural heritage that we all love. So that's it, guys. We're looking forward to a great campaign and happy to take some questions. Newcastle. Well, a few things. The community is speaking in ever-growing numbers to both the old parties to say, you are holding us back. It's you that are holding back the economic prosperity of this country by ensuring that you continue to protect those old industries of the past through those fossil fuel subsidies, through winding back the renewable energy target, through taking money out of the Renewable Energy Agency. And it's in fact the old parties who are holding back Australia's economic prosperity. We've got a situation where for too long this debate has been mired in the environment versus the economy. That is a false choice. We've got the old parties presenting a false choice to the community. We know that if we are to have a prosperous economy, then we've got to have an environment that's healthy. You can't have a strong economy in an environment where we're continuing to pollute the atmosphere and those huge flow-on costs down the line. What we're saying is there's no choice between the economy and the environment. That if we are in fact to protect the Great Barrier Reef, the prescription for doing that is a jobs-rich one.
And now we have a very special treat out here on the water aboard Guy's Dream. We're about to hear from two legends of Australian music. Ash Grunwald has been a champion of the environment, fighting the fossil fuel industry. He's played in the gas fields in Tara, he's played the Bentley blockade, he's played the Pilliga, he's surfed the Conda mine and the coal slag heaps of the Liverpool Plains, and now he's playing at the biggest ever blockade of the world's biggest coal port, alongside Rob Hurt, who plays with the Backsliders, famously of Midnight Oil, recently released a track called The Truth Walks Slowly, about Queensland farmer George Bender, who battled against the gas companies of CSG in southern Queensland.
All the things that will flow on from the renewable energy economy. That is where Australia's economic prosperity lies.
And we're going to be joined by Uncle Bunna Laurie, who plays with Coloured Stone. He's an esteemed mining elder from South Australia and is known as the Whale Whisperer. He featured in the film Whale Dreamers and is the figurehead of the fight to protect the Australian right from the oil industry. Please welcome our Australian rock legends as they entertain us as we break free from fossil fuels.
Those massive tax concessions that go towards people like the Greens again leading the debate on that front. Multinational tax audits for years we have been campaigning on. So we are very proud of our record on that. We know this election campaign will be about the we're very, very confident.
We live together and everybody lives downstream.
In New South Wales, we'll be
Wrong people, wrong plan, wrong circumstance. One love, one technical. Live together, everybody lives downstream.
Really well. We hope you
can they call you an activist? Call you a radical? Call you a terrorist?
Doing an incredible job.
Because you want your drinking water clean. And they call you an activist. Call you a radical. And your friends want a part of it. We live together and everybody lives downstream. It used to blow out the ocean. Tell me that the river won't stop. Sometimes I get a little bit on. Tell me that the river won't stop.
What we do is that the outcome of the Senate at this stage will reflect the vote.
Sometimes I get a little bit of morning.
Means that if we can be sure that the voters will be reflected in the outcome, I don't think what you see is Australians saying whoever forms government, we don't want people to have control of the Senate. They like the Senate and the House of Representatives not on the Senate. They like the Senate being a check on executive government. And I think what you'll see is what we've seen on many other occasions, more independent voices, more Greens there holding
We live together, everybody live downstream. We live together, everybody live downstream.
Hey, I'm really excited. I'll tell you why it's really exciting to be part of this team, because we can stand up and be so proud of everything that we're seeing. We don't have to make excuses for our policies, because they're policies that we believe in. Here we are saying no more new coal. That's something we know the world is moving towards, we know the Australian community is moving towards, and we're proud to stand up and be young that is acknowledging that reality. A bit more decency towards innocent people. The only party saying this is a false choice, this idea that we either stop the votes or we have 100,000 people coming to this country. They are false choices. There is no better way, and we are saying clearly, let's shut down those chemicals, let's reinvest that money into creating safe pathways. So it's that pride that allows us to go on. And we relish the one because it brings more time for us to knock on doors, to speak to people. We don't take those huge corporate donations. We won't be running those advertising campaigns, but we'll have a campaign on the ground where we're speaking to all the people. And I'm sure that at the end of most of those conversations, you'll see more Green voters, more Greens in Parliament. Transition plan is called Renew Australia. 90% renewable energy, 20,000 new jobs coming out of that transition. A fully costed plan from the Parliamentary Budget Office. It's a plan called Renew Australia. 90% renewable energy with tens of thousands of jobs that will come from that. And that's a choice that we have. We can either increase the renewable energy target, or we can slash it like the government and the Labor Party. Like Germany that has created nearly 400,000 new jobs in the clean economy. That's the choice that we're offering to voters. A real job, a real plan for new jobs, a real plan for growth that doesn't come with the enormous pollution that the coal industry is delivering here in towns like Newcastle, but right around Australia. What do you think Well, what it says is to the two old parties is they need to come out of the past and acknowledge that Australia and the world is moving on. Let's remember this isn't just an action here in Newcastle. This is part of a global movement. Look around. What you see is kids, families and older people. In fact, I understand that a 91-year-old on a walker is looking like they might be arrested as a result of stopping one of those polluting coal trains. Well, that's the community standing up and saying, we've had enough. And it's up to the two old parties to decide if you're going to listen. If they don't, what they will see is the Green vote continue to rise. We'll continue to see more Greens in Parliament. And let me tell you, if Australia, as it looks like, may deliver a close election result and possibly a power-sharing government, well, one of the most important things we will put on the national agenda is strong action on climate change, which means no more new polluting coal mines.
Young man on the building side, I rest my peace and small soul.
We just simply say to Labor, you can't have a plan to tackle climate change unless you've got a plan to end new coal mines. You can't be serious about tackling dangerous global warming and support the opening up of the Adani coal mine. The maths just doesn't add up. So what we're saying to both sides of politics, if you say that you want this country to transition to a new economy, at the heart of that is the transition to a clean economy. It means no more new coal mines, it means more renewable energy, it means making that transition to a jobs-rich, pollution-free future. And that's what renewable energy could do for Australia. Look at the example of Germany, almost 400,000 jobs from the clean energy economy. Well, having a 91-year-old standing up on behalf of their children and their grandchildren saying we want to hand over an environment to our kids where we protect the Great Barrier Reef, where we actually create those jobs in the renewable energy economy, that is mainstream. That is absolutely mainstream. And indeed, the only way that we are going to be able to make this transition is to ensure that governments learn from what we're seeing here, and that is that the community is fed up, that they are going to express their democratic right to ensure that we turn our attention to this huge challenge. And if we're being honest, we need to acknowledge that one of the ways that society moves and changes is through democratic and peaceful protest, and that's what we're seeing here today. It's wonderful. It warms my heart to see ordinary Australia out here and for the Greens to be standing with the community while we see the two old parties standing with the big end of town. And we're saying no more. Let's have a meaningful transition. Let's protect the Great Barrier Reef and we're seeing Australia express that.
What about locking onto coal equipment? Like, what's the Greens' stance on that?
Well, if people feel strongly enough about ensuring that they express, as I said, their democratic right to say that what's going on is inconsistent with saving the Great Barrier Reef, with actually having a new clean energy economy, well, that's what they'll do. And they'll make it really clear that we're going to have that transition that we need to have as a country, that will take this country in the direction it needs to go to protect these kids' future. Right? This is not just about us, because what we're seeing now are two governments that are taking away the future prosperity of these kids, and they're taking away those most precious natural assets. Things like the Great Barrier Reef, those incredible forests, because of the greed of those big vested interests who will be out there writing paychecks saying, don't touch us, continue to mouth the rhetoric, but when it comes to substance, we don't want you to deliver. We're saying no more. We're saying the change has to happen.
Do you consider it? Do you consider it more?
Punch in, everyone. Punch in.
Here's another environmental team welcome. Called Open Junction.
Okay, everyone, we've got the words break free being formed on the beach. We could do with a few MPs. Come on, guys, up here.
Just hang around here for a moment.